I am back with some more Premier League predictions. We are up to game week 11 of the 2023/24 season. So let's just get straight into it with the first game kicking off midday on the Saturday at Craven Cottage. It is Fulham against Manchester United. Fulham in their last game picking up a pretty decent 1-1 draw against Brighton. Manchester United, they did lose in that Manchester derby 3-0 last night, but Manchester United away from home this season, they've not been the greatest. Fulham, I reckon they can pick up something from this game. I'm going to go for a high scoring draw. I'll go for a 2-2 point apiece for both teams in this one. We move on to the Brentford Community Stadium, where Brentford are taking on West Ham United. Brentford picking up pretty good 2-0 victory against Chelsea. They were defending for the majority of that game. Of course, that last second goal as well, counter-attack from the corner, no goalkeeper in the net. They've now picked up 2 wins out of their last 2. Could be slowly getting back into things after they had a pretty poor run of form just a couple of weeks ago. But West Ham in their last game losing 1-0 to Everton. That's 2 defeats now for West Ham. In the last 2, they'll be looking to bounce back. Interesting fact about these 2 sides: Brentford have won all 4 out of their 4 Premier League games against West Ham. The last 3 of those 4 ended in a 2-0 win for Brentford. But that being said, there's always a first time for everything. West Ham, for me, I think will bounce back in this game and come away 2-1 winners. We move on now to Turf Moor, where Burnley are taking on Crystal Palace. Both sides conceding a ton of goals. Both sides not really scoring that many. So what will we see in this game? Both sides' defences leaking goals. Their attack isn't doing much. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw in this one. I think it'll be definitely a good point for Burnley, and I think they're going to need to pick up some points. They're currently in 19th place. Crystal Palace, they are mid-table. They usually do all right. If I was to edge it to a side, I would back Crystal Palace for all 3 points, but I think Burnley, they're going to hold on to a point in this game. I'll go 0-0. We move on now to Goodison Park, where Everton are taking on Brighton, who have not won in their last 4 games now, after picking up that 1-1 draw against Fulham in their last game. Everton, as I mentioned just above, good 1-0 victory against West Ham away from home. Everton, so far at home this season at Goodison Park, they have only lost all their games by a 1-goal margin. The majority of those games was only the narrow 1-0 scoreline to the opposition. I fancy Everton at Goodison Park to pick something out of this game. I think both sides will score. It'll be a 1-1 draw. And I think Everton, they are scoring quite a few more goals than what they have been doing the past couple of seasons. I think slowly we're seeing an improvement. And I back them to pick up a point in this game. Next up, onto the Etihad Stadium now, where Manchester City are taking on Bournemouth. Only one winner for me. It's just Manchester City. Bournemouth, of course, they picked up their first victory of the season in that 2-1 win over Burnley last time out. But as I said, no, it's just going to be too big a test for Bournemouth in this game. I'll back Bournemouth to get 1. I'll go for a 4-1 Manchester City win, but it really doesn't affect much. Just, Manchester City, the Manchester City, I don't need to say anything else. So 4-1 home win for them. Next up, on to Bramall Lane, where Sheffield United taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Sheffield United getting smashed by Arsenal 5-0 in their last game. It was expected. They are back at home now. I know they did get smashed 8-0 by Newcastle United here, but since then they did take part in a very close 2-1 defeat against Manchester United. So they are definitely better at home. Wolverhampton Wanderers, they're doing pretty well at the moment, on a good bit of form. I'm going to back Sheffield United to pick up a point in this game. The search for their first win will continue, but I think that they will pick up a 1-1 draw in this game. And we'll move on now to St James's Park, where Newcastle United are taking on Arsenal. This one is going to be a tight one. Can Arsenal keep on going with their unbeaten records so far this season? 7 wins, 3 draws. It is a 5:30 kickoff, so we'll be on TV. I'm going to back Arsenal to pick up a very narrow 1-0 away win here, but should be a very close game, but I'll edge it to Arsenal. Next up, onto the City Ground, we've got Nottingham Forest taking on Aston Villa. Aston Villa at the moment, just goals. They are scoring so many, and they are away for this game, but I still back them to pick up all 3 points. Will be a bit narrower, but still going to back Aston Villa to pick up a 2-1 away win. Onto Kenilworth Road now, where Luton Town are taking on Liverpool. Liverpool beating Nottingham Forest 3-0 at Anfield last time out. Yeah, I'm going to go a bit mad for this one, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. My reasoning for this is that Liverpool, obviously at home at Anfield, they get the job done. They pick up their points. Away from home, they have been a bit shaky, especially when you're going to go to a stadium like Kenilworth Road, a ground that, no offence to Luton, but should belong in League One or maximum the Championship. And I think a Premier League side will struggle on their pitch. We saw it last time where Tottenham only picked up the narrow 1-0 victory there. I think we're going to see a close game here. I will back Luton to get one, and I think they will just defend and hope. In the end, I do think a point for Luton will be a very good point. But I'm going to go for a draw in this one. And then we finish off with the North London derby, Tottenham against Chelsea. Tottenham on an unbeaten run at the moment with 8 wins and 2 draws. And I reckon that will continue in this game as well. It's just whether or not I'm going to go for a draw or a Tottenham win. Chelsea in their last game, 2-0 defeat against Brentford. They had so many chances in that game, they just couldn't put it away, and they were the better side. Against Tottenham, it is going to be a bit more end-to-end, I feel. There will be gaps and defences will open up in this game, but I'm going to back Tottenham to pick up a 2-1 win to wrap up my game week 11 score predictions. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are not already. I'll see you all in my next video.